Let's give it up for Cheryl on this wonderful day and all that you're doing for Prince George's County and our realtors. We've got 3,000 wonderful angels out there that are on the front line every single day. I see our realtors as being the ambassadors. It is a pleasure being here today on behalf of County Executive Rashawn Baker. He told me, he said, make sure, buddy, you let everybody know what's happening in the county. He is thrilled about the last 8 years of things that have happened here in the county. I want to not only thank Cheryl, but also want to thank Dwayne for inviting us here, as well as the entire executive committee. Reverend Frederica, I love your prayer. I was ready to give out a collection somewhere here. I'm going to take you through just a quick update on what's going on. I've got my general counsel here, Lori. Lori, stand up, please. Lori Valentine's my general counsel. She's my head of communications. She's my chief of staff. She does it all. And I've got my other team members here, Josh and Carl, to capture this incredible moment. So we're going to have a slide. Hope most of you can see it. I'm going to go through it. Lori told me I've got 10 minutes to get through this, so I'm going to talk real fast. $10 bill now, $20 bill now, $30 now, $40, $30, $50, $60. So I'll talk kind of fast, but I'll try my best to kick it to 10 minutes. I get so excited when I have an opportunity to talk about Prince George's County because so much is going on. What I'm going to share with you is what we are talking about with my 75 professionals every single day when we're over in Virginia and D.C., when we're talking to folks out in California, New York, to tell them about what's going on here in Prince George's County. Prince George's County, stable, business-friendly. We've got a AAA credit rating. There are 3,300 counties in the United States. There are only about 300 that have a AAA credit rating. 8 years ago, we couldn't buy a fleet of used cars, y'all. We were bankrupt. We were about $100 million in a hole. County Executive Baker, I told him, he's been my best friend, by the way, for the last 40 years. We're celebrating our I guess, what do you call it? Not romance, but bromance. President Obama called it bromance. It's been a bromance for me for 40 years. I met him August 28th, 1978. He and I both went to Howard University. My mother and family left, and I was scared. I was like, what am I going to do? I grew up on a little small pig farm in Lexington, Kentucky that my great-grandfather purchased back in 1888, and I was Forrest Gump. And I walked up, waved my family goodbye, and I walked upstairs, and I was unloading my trunk, and I had two pairs of jeans, and this cool guy was walking down the hallway, and I could hear him outside of my door, and he said, ask not what your country should do for you. Ask what your country said you should do for your country. And he sounded like Bobby Kennedy and John Kennedy to me. And I said, who is that talking? And this guy walked in my room, and he looked like Billy D at the time. Wavy hair, cool, had platform shoes on, white polyester pants. I said, man, I don't know how I'm going to keep up with this. I'm like, Mama, I don't have any of this. And he said, dude, what's your name? I said, I'm James Coleman. He said, where are you from? I said, I'm from Kentucky, Lexington. He said, I don't know anybody from Lexington. He said, well, what's it like in Kentucky? I said, well, I love it. And he started asking all these fun questions. I said, well, what is your name? And he said, my name's Rashawn Baker. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts. And he said, a few of us dudes are getting together tonight. You can join us, and we're going to walk all over D.C. And that began my incredible friendship. And I love Bake. I will do anything in the world. I told Bake, with all the things that are going on here in Prince George's County, he's not county executive. He's more than a county executive. He's Moses. He's Shaft. He's Bobby Kennedy. This brother's got it going on, y'all. He's T'Challa. Prince George's County is on fire. Let me keep on. I'm going to get way off track talking about Bake. But AAA credit rate, we got good credit, y'all. Again, we're one of the few counties in the country out of 3,300, 300 of them. D.C.'s got AA1. That means you can buy a car, but you're going to pay more in interest because you're about more like 650. We are up there in the 800s here in Prince George's County. We're living with what we take in. On top of that, we've got all these great things that are going on. We've got a 500,000 workforce. 40% of our residents have a college degree. The median household income has gone up to $79,000. That was last year's number, $5,000. It's at $79,000 versus the country's at $59,000, y'all. You may not know this. Lord, we're going to get a copy of this out. Can we get a copy of this presentation after? Because you all got to know this so that I need you to be more equipped with the message. We've been beat down hard for the last 25 years. Anybody that wakes up watching TV, it's always some horror story. But Prince George's County is on fire. Let me keep on going, Lori. I'm going to keep it moving here. All right, we're strategically located between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. You just don't realize how easy it is to sell Prince George's County. When I talk to companies and they know they're right between first being close to the Washington's capital. I tell everybody out there, everybody needs to have an office you need to have a Washington-based office. It just doesn't need to be in Washington, D.C. It needs to be in New Carrollton, Largo. You need to have access to D.C., but you don't need to live in Washington, D.C. But we're strategically located, 3 major airports that helps any kind of international company to come here to do business. We've got Select USA coming up down at the Gaylord down in this month of June. And we're going to have a ton of international companies that are coming out and literally checking out Prince George's County, and they love this slide. This one, I got to go through this one, y'all. Thank you. I want to give each of you a round of applause, a pat on the back, and a big hug from County Executive Baker. Here's some hot numbers up here. The county's on fire, but a lot of it's happening because of each of you and what you're doing. April versus April, you're at $30 million in total volume. That is rocking. That's 14%, y'all. Average sold price is up $12,000. That $30 million is very important. And it's important for 2 reasons. One is that our residents are getting more for their properties. That's good news. The second and most important thing to each of you and that we're happy about, that's $1.8 million in commissions. Okay? That's important. Y'all live on what you eat. Y'all live on what you kill. So that $1.8 million is important to County Executive Baker, and it's important to the Economic Development Corporation that our realtors are making some serious money. Look at the median price up 10,000. Units sold 71 versus last April. Average days in the market, that's hot. I like to say everything that should be up is up and everything that should be down is down. Down 2 days. You all know that's hot. Somebody knows that they can sell their property and get it sold and get cash. And that includes all the way to the time in closing. That doesn't even count the time when you're on the market and you get a contract. In Prince George's County, you put your house on the market, you could potentially get your house a contract with a short amount of time, within 25, 30 days. And that's what we want. We want that number to go down. The last number that's very impressive is the inventory is going down, which means there's more demand than supply. We want to keep that rolling. That's good for each of you, and that's good for our homeowners here in Prince George's County because that drives up the value of their properties and their wealth. I grew up on a farm that my great-grandfather purchased. He bought it for $1,200. Today, that farm's worth $3 million. It sent me to college. If he didn't buy that farm, I would have never met Bake because my parents would not have been able to afford to send me to Howard University. We want to replicate that as much as possible here in Prince George's County, and you're the ones that are making that happen. Let's keep on moving here. These are the companies that we brought on just in the last 12 months, more than 25 companies. I'll get into some more details on a few of them, but these are all high-wage companies. We're going after everything from IT, government, professional services, anything in the medical field. Why? Because we want our residents to make more money. We want to keep driving up that median household income. I predict with all that's going on, I'll show you a few of the slides that are going to drive it. In the next 5 years, Prince George's County's median household income will be well over $100,000. Did you all hear that? It will be well over $100,000. You will, what does that mean to you as a realtor here in Prince George's County? You will see in the next 5 years, you'll look back and you'll be making 40 to 50% more than you're currently making in commission. Selling the same property, selling the same number of units. Why? Because the housing prices are going to go up because more of our residents are making good money. Let's keep it moving here. Here are the tipping points. And this is why I called him Shaft. Bake ain't County Executive. Bake is Shaft, man. They say that Cat Bake is a bad, watch your mouth, but I'm talking about Bake. I'm talking about Bake. Can you dig it? Here are the 5 things that he's done. He did these, you all. You may not know about this. The first week that he was in office, somebody got killed every single day here in Prince George's County. Wall Street called him in and said, we don't have faith in you, and we don't have faith in Prince George's County. They were ready to take our AAA down to like A, to where we were like, again, you all, we were bankrupt. We had a $70 million budget deficit. Bake was in trouble. And he took over an organization, he took over a community that was really hurting at the time. And the whole country was having a tough time. You all know that. We were in a major recession. But you know that when the country's in a recession, Prince George's County is in a depression. And that's what was going on. So here are the 5 key things that he put in place. Number 1 is that he instilled integrity and confidence. You can trust Bake. Bake, I know Bake. The Bake that you see every single day is the same Bake that's going on behind closed doors. There are 2 things that are on Bake's mind every single day. Taking care of sis and taking care of Prince George's County. You can be assured that Bake is on it. I see him, and I've known him for 40 years. And he is the most trustworthy person I've ever seen and ever met in my life. What he says he's going to do, he's going to do it. So integrity is important to each of you and important to all of our developers, that you don't have to bribe somebody to do business here in Prince George's County. Everything's going to be transparent, above board, and that's what he's brought. Second thing that he's done is he's streamlined the permitting process. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But it's a lot better than it was 8 years ago, absolutely. And the reason why I say that, one of the major projects that we had that we launched and opened up in December of 2016 was the MGM. We got that permitting done in 3 months. for a $1.4 billion project, 3,600 jobs. That is really, truly a testimony of his leadership and streamlining that permitting process and sending a message to other developers that we are ready to do business and we won't get in your way of doing business. The next, he launched this Transforming Neighborhood Initiative. Again, we had crime, a murder here every single day, first 5 days. He literally, through the T&I Transforming Neighborhood Initiative, where he really poured resources in about 6 of our neighborhoods where they were really having some serious challenge. Crime's down 65% right now, you all. You might not know that, but versus 8 years ago, crime's down 65%. On top of that, he launched this incredible program. It's called the Economic Development Incentive Fund, $50 million. He was able to convince the county council to make that investment out of our rainy day fund. First year in office when we had a $70 million budget deficit, you all. Lori's giving me like 3 minutes, but Lori, I got to tell, it's like in church. I said I wasn't going to say anything about it, but I can't keep it in myself. I can't keep it. If y'all can handle it, I'm going to just give me a few more minutes. Is that okay, y'all? Yeah. I got about 100 more slides to go through, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But that Economic Development Incentive Fund literally has helped us to bring into the county $1 billion in private investment, over 12,000 jobs, and we still have about $23 million left in that account. Any takers, anybody that you know, any partners out there, if you're in your own business, it's designed to be able to provide our existing companies here in Prince George's County the capital they need to expand and grow, as well as to help us to invite new companies. And we've got conditional loans where if you show that you're going to increase the right number of jobs and you invest your CapEx that you're going to have in your project, at least 35% for our local contractors, we'll forgive that loan after 10 years and convert it to a grant where you don't have to pay it back. I mean, this is the best thing I've seen since Social Security. I know you've seen a lot of news. Everybody beats up on our schools. Prince George's County takes a beat, and if the number's up, we get beat. If the numbers are down, bottom line is our graduation on-time score is 81.4%. That beats out the top 15 major metros in the United States, including New York, Boston. They've got Harvard University up there. And we'd be Philadelphia, Detroit, Atlanta, Los Angeles, the major metros in the United States. We beat them out. We're at 81.4 and climbing. Why is that going on? Is that we've got all kinds of programs like the Cisco Academy, Cisco Computer Company. You all know Cisco, hot company. We've got 10 of our high schools that are Cisco Academies where kids at 9th grade go all the way through their 12th grade, take 2 more years. They're learning about technology the whole time, about Cisco systems. They go to Prince George's Community College, get their associate's degree in the afternoon, their high school diploma that morning, and they step into $70,000 a year jobs here in Prince George's County, you all. You may not know that. We've got a program called P-Tech in our public schools where kids are in hospitality and medical technology, where they too can go the extra 2 years, 100% paid, figured out a way to get the cost where it's free for our students that are in this program to go to it. The bottom line is that it's going to help prepare our students to be able to take on good jobs and to keep them here so they can buy a house from y'all. So they are prepared to get somebody making $70,000 and 23 years old, they are ready to buy another house over here at Bray Street. And we need you to help them to buy that house. So those are the 5 tipping points that have led to this explosive growth that you all are currently seeing. Everything that should be up is up, and everything that should be down is down in Prince George's County. Let me keep on moving here. All right, these are the key strategies that the Economic Development Corporation, my team and I, that we're focused on. Number one, holding on to the 16,000 businesses that we already have here in the county, and then helping to bring on more businesses that are high-wage companies, again, the IT, telecommunications, medical, life sciences, professional services, and government agencies, making Prince George's County a very attractive place to be able to launch a business. We just opened up the Innovation Station at my headquarters office, about 8,000 square feet. Any of you that want to start a business or that you know somebody wants to start a business, we are here to make that happen. We also want to make all of our resources available to those high-wage employers to help them to be able to come here. And then we've got a big campaign to build more awareness about what's going on here in Prince George's County. So that's what we do. Talked about the Economic Development Incentive Fund already. Let me just go through a few of the quick projects, and I'll be ready to rock and sit down here. MGM, you all know this thing is on fire. December 2016, this thing opened. I'm telling you right now, they're cranking out $54 million in gross revenue every single, not year, month, y'all. MGM has already told us this is the most profitable asset they have in their global portfolio already, okay? 3,600 jobs, many of those jobs start off at $50,000. My team and I were very instrumental in helping them to find residents here. They had a commitment of 45%, they're at 52% on the number of employees that are from Prince George's County. And we want that to continue to grow. We want to be able to help our residents to be able to get into this kind of business because it's a great future. And they pay well, and they've got a whole process for your long-term career. and it helps to drive up our median household income. 11 hot new restaurants. Don't listen to all this stuff out there. Well, y'all don't have restaurants. We got 11 hot restaurants down there at that one MGM resort that are on fire. And we're getting about $250 million over the next 5 years in income tax revenue to be able to employ it, put that right back into our public school system. That's what this is. Bank is not for gambling, but he's for $250 million that y'all don't have to pay. He is for getting $250 million to invest right back into our public schools so our students can have top-notch teachers and have great facilities. And that's why he did this. He and I've always had a different opinion on gambling. I've always liked gambling. I grew up in Kentucky. And he said, buddy, I ain't for gambling, but bank's for $250 million. I can tell you that right now. And 3,600 jobs that are about $250 million in annual income. That's what bank's for. That's why bank did this. And it wouldn't have happened without bank. Kaiser Permanente doubling down on Prince George's County. They already have facilities out here. They love New Carrollton. New Carrollton, you can catch anything you want. Amtrak, MARC train, you can catch Uber, you can catch a donkey out of there. I'm telling you right now, New Carrollton is Grand Central. It is one of the hottest spots in Prince George's County. But Kaiser Permanente doubled down, building a 176,000 square foot building there. 850 jobs. They're coming to Prince George's County, and all these jobs are 100,000. Why is that important? Again, it's going to drive up our median household income, and it gives us all a chance to be able to get them to come to Prince George's County and to buy a home and to expand and to be able to have an executive home after 10 or 15 years. And that helps each of you to be able to sell more homes. It helps our developers to build and to be able to create more communities. This is a hot, hot company in the medical field. They want to do this we got 15 metro stations. They want one of these almost at every metro station, you all. They feel Prince George's County is underpenetrated, needs better access to health care, and that's true, and that's why the county executive built this brand new hospital. They love Prince George's County. Leading right on into that, Largo is going to be on fire. I'm telling you right now, there will be no houses that anybody can buy and land. It's going to be all gone in the next 2 years. Get on your phone right now and invest. Yolanda, you all were talking about buying land. Largo is going to have over 10,000 new jobs over the next 8 years. 2,200 jobs directly related, but because of the hospital, a hot company called Future Care, they've already come, they've got 300 jobs they open up, and they can't wait because it's going to be a direct feeder. Future Care is like a 5-star, 4 seasons rehabilitation. I went over there for the Grand Old. I tried to break my leg so I could just stay there. Because, it's like laying up at the 4 Seasons getting well. I'm like, I would never get out. I would never say I'm well. I would tell Doc, I ain't well. I still hurt. But it is on fire, and it's going to be focused on cardiac and cancer care, and that's what we need, and that's what we deserve. Bank experienced this because of what Sis is going through, y'all. And that's why he's committed. This ain't something that he thought, well, maybe it would be cool. Bank is a believer that everybody should have care that Sis is getting. Okay? He's the county executive. He's experienced having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to take his wife to the hospital. And he wants to make sure everybody here in Prince George's County gets the same kind of treatment that he gets, first-class care in this kind of county that we have. No excuses why we can't have great care. Let's move on here. Department of Citizenship and Immigration Services moving here to Prince George's County, y'all. 3,700 jobs. This is going to be down at Camp Springs. This is on fire. Another 3,700 jobs, and all these are lawyers, so it starts off at $100,000. I mean, the secretary's making $100,000. I'm telling you all this because y'all got to be on the lookout. Y'all ain't going to be able to keep up. The inventory is going to be it's going to go down. Days in market is going to be 20 in about 3 years. It's going to be 20 days. Y'all ain't going to be able to keep up. Y'all going to have to recruit more realtors. Y'all have to get more people to keep up this volume. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Josh, help me to keep this moving here. Let me move us. 15 federal agencies. Why is Prince George's County so on fire? Y'all don't know this. We have about 2,000 residents who are millionaires. Contractors here in Prince George's County. 2,000. And why? Because of all these federal agencies. We used to have 14, now we have 15 because of that new immigration services. But they do over $100 billion in procurement opportunities. That's why it's good. And that's why it's good for each of you because we can help our businesses to be able to bid on that and win serious business so they can grow and expand and create more jobs. Maximum brain power here. 7 college universities. How many? I talked to a big company that I was trying to get them swayed. I'll tell you who it was. It was Marriott. I went over there when they said, we're going to move out of Maryland. I said, well, I'm going to go. Before y'all move, I want to talk to y'all about Prince George's County. I gave them this presentation. Hold it. The president said, wait a minute. University of Maryland? That's in Montgomery County. I said, no, it's not. Montgomery County doesn't have one 4-year college, y'all. Montgomery County does not have one 4-year college. That might be a shock to 90% of this room. Y'all probably think, they educated. Jim, look at what we got. Look at all this that we've got going on. Capital University, the technology company, they guarantee if you come there to get a degree in code writing, you can't get a job, they will pay 100% to get your master's. They're cranking out 2,000 graduates on an annualized. Don't tell me we don't have people that can do technology. We do. We got to get the word out, but we got it going on. We got 83,000 students going to our top 3 schools right now. Anybody that wants to move here to Prince George's County, I can satisfy their needs. That's the bottom line. Like no one else in the United States. Let's keep it moving. Quality of life. Y'all know all the fun that we've got. We got tank outlets. You can buy anything on Rodeo Drive, 40% off. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Look at this suit that I got on. I got this down there. I mean, Brooks Brothers, 2 suits for $500. If you're not taking advantage of that, I said this on WSUR one night. I can't find out. I said, brother, you're wasting time going over to Virginia. You can buy 2 suits for $500 down there at Tank Outlets at Brooks Brothers. My mother would be proud of me. She'd be proud. Look at all we've got. Look at all we've got. Now, let me keep moving, Lori. I just want to show you this real quick to show you excuse me, I get choked up when I'm talking about the areas that we're really focused on and investing in our residents. Y'all, everybody's not going to go to Howard and Hampton and Harvard, and everybody's not going to go to Prince George Community College. We got to help the majority of our residents to get some fast certification and some skills, y'all. I'm more Booker T, okay? I'm Booker T today. And that means what can we do to help a brother or sister get a job right now? And I had in the month of March, we had reentry month. And we had Second Chance Job Fair March 30th. We had 330 of our residents that have a college degree, that have a criminal record. We got over 50% of them jobs on that same day. We had 53 employers that were waiting, could care less about the past. Don't keep messing up and can't be on drugs. But here are the certification areas that we're focused on helping our residents to get these hot jobs. We got 20,000 jobs to market, y'all, I can't even fill. You all know that? I got 20,000 jobs right now that are open in Prince George County that I know about, that my staff's working on, that we can't even fill. Isn't that a good problem to have? Okay, 8 years ago, we had 20,000 people out of work. Today, we got 20,000 we can't even fill. We can't even fill. IT technology, I can pay anywhere from up to $1,800 to $2,000 for anybody to get a base certification here in Prince George County. They step in $55,000 to $60,000 a year job. And they don't have to have a college degree to get into this. Anybody that you know, if you got a family member that wants to do that, contact us at the EDC. We'll help them. Next area is healthcare. Anybody that's in healthcare right now, forget about it. The hospital's already told all of our universities, we want to get any of your graduates, even the ones that don't graduate, we want them. Because of the demand for healthcare jobs. Those 10,000 jobs that I mentioned, they're all going to be healthcare jobs. Y'all going to be getting nurses and doctors and technicians. They all going to be making money. They all going to be making money, okay? I like these because if one person's working in the family, which we have 61,000 households in our county where sis is covering it by herself. If I can help Blue to get one of these jobs, that median household income is going to go up. That's the bottom line. And it could be well over $100,000, and that's a lot higher than my hometown of Kentucky, and it's higher than in the United States. Let's look at the next area that we're going to focus on. The next one here, transportation. I love the transportation. Again, we can literally get somebody who's sitting in jail right now, get them a certification with a CDL license. 4 weeks, y'all. 4 weeks. And they're making more than a college graduate. Get them out of jail, clean up. You've got a little drug problem. I got my partners over there, Betty and all of them at social service to get that cleaned up. But as soon as you get yourself together, I can put you in a certification program. I pay for it 100%. It takes 4 weeks to get a CDL license. FedEx and UPS cannot find enough people to fill these jobs. You're stepping into a job making $55,000 and $60,000 with Blue Cross Blue Shield. If you work an extra couple of hours a week, now you're at $80,000. You don't run over anybody after 3 years, you become a boss. If you like it, we'll help you to buy a rig after 5 years for $180,000. If you like that, you can end up after 5, 7 years, you got 5 trucks. Now all of a sudden, everybody's calling you because they want you to come to their fundraiser because you're a multimillionaire. This has happened in Prince George County, y'all. I've had guys in my office that were in jail 5 years ago, and today they're multimillionaires because they own 5, 6 trucks. This is hot. This is hot. Next area is construction. Y'all know we're on fire. I'm going to show you a few projects that we have going on in the county. We're hot, but like Dr. King said, this is no time for cooling off. We still have about $8 billion in the pipeline on construction projects. We cannot find enough people in carpentry, concrete, electricity. Pepco wants to hire 100 of our residents, and they're starting off at $25 with full Blue Cross Blue Shield pensions. After 5 years, they will have you as a master electrician making $125,000. That's the demand of and no debt, 25 years old, not sleeping on the couch, making $125,000. They ain't bad, is it? They don't have to even move in an apartment. Y'all can put them in an estate, okay? We're talking about boom. They can move down to National Harbor. This one, I'll say real quick on this one. High Prince George's County, again, I've got this in each of your packets on the table and in your seats. I love this program. We get about $8 million from the federal government each year to be able to help our residents who are looking for work to help them, if they're underemployed or unemployed, we can help them to get back in. We can help each of you. If you want to take on someone who's unemployed in our county or underemployed, and you're willing to pay somewhere between $12 and $15 an hour, it's got to be for full time. So if you're looking for a new, let's say a new secretary, assistant in your office, you pay them between $12 and $14 an hour. You do the training, because that's what it's for. You do the training, we will reimburse 75% of their salary for the first 6 months. How many of you ever heard of this program? How many of, and if we don't use it, Trump wants it. Trump wants the money back. We have to send the money back to Trump. He's got to pay for these tax cuts y'all enjoying. So the bottom line is, we got to use this money, but this is real money. And we're using this left and right. Get the word out about this. Get the word out. If you want to train your whole organization on customer service, it costs $5,000. We can cover that cost up to 50%. That's why I'm here talking about this. Lord, we got to get this out there, everybody, to make sure we're using this stuff. Let me go through these real quick. I just talked about New Carrollton, so I don't have to hammer on this. New Carrollton's on fire. County Executive Baker, first year in office, said, I want to fix all 15. His lieutenant, Tom Himmler, who gets it done. Tom Himmler runs everything over there. I mean, Tom Himmler is the man. He said, why don't we get something done? Let's focus on 5. Bake said, okay. New Carrollton is on fire. I just talked about that. We're building like crazy. The berm has just opened up. They're building like crazy on new apartments over there, new homes. 2U's over there. You've got kids in there making $80,000 and $90,000, $100,000. You've got Kaiser Permanente that's going to be there. You already have IRS. We want to build around these metro stations and continue to build housing around them so that we can be more attractive to these high-end employees that want to come to the county. Largo, I talked about that. We're on fire. Not only are we going to have this brand new hospital, but the National Children's Hospital is coming there and Future Care. Can you believe that? Yeah, exactly. Thousands of more jobs are going to be out of that. Providing better access to all of our families for their kids. You line us up here like, I wish you would have had that when you were raising your kids, wasn't that right? We don't need no critical care. We need Children's Hospital up in here, right? And that's creating, again, more jobs. It helps us to attract more primary care physicians, specialists in the pediatrics, and they're all making money. Anytime you bring out a specialty surgeon, that's 7 more high-end staff members to support them. That's why we're doing this. That's why Bake wants to do this. Branch Avenue, I just talked about that. Immigration Services moved down there at Camp Springs, on fire of what's going on there, on fire of what's going on. Prince George's Plaza, redoing the whole, the mall on Prince George's is on fire. We just opened up a brand new Safeway, beautiful hot area that we've got going on. Josh, keep me moving here. All right, Suitland's the best place in the world. County Executive is building 900 units of multifamily housing, $400 million investment by the county. Why is he doing that? Not so the government can go around doing all the building, but it spurs economic growth and it makes other developers look at that and say, whoa, if the county believes in that, I want to build some of that too. So he's got 900 units of multifamily housing, 90,000 square feet of retail space. The best thing you can get right now is a Subway, a sandwich. We've got to provide better retail and better restaurants for those major agencies. When you're looking at, you've got Census Bureau down there, NOAA, and these folks are making $90,000 and $100,000 a year. And they're looking for somewhere nice to eat during the lunch, and that's why he's doing it. We need for each of you to continue to believe in where we're headed. This county, Bake has taken this county from worst to first in a lot of areas. I like to say, and I'll wrap it up with this about Bake, my dear friend, and it's kind of like what Lyndon Johnson said about Whitney Young, who was the former president and CEO of the National Urban League. He said about Whitney Young, he said, during Whitney Young's brief life, he moved America 100 years. Bake's last 8 years, he has moved Prince George's County 100 years. Bobby Kennedy, we celebrated his life last week, 50 years ago, when he was assassinated. He said, some men see things as they are and ask why. I see things that never were and dream of things that never were and ask why not. That's Bake. Give it up to all of our realtors here. Give it up to County Executive Baker for your partnership and your love of Prince George's County. Thank you so much for this honor.